That's where it started.
So hockey.
Which hockey?
Oh, did you guys see Matt Dumba had a multi-point night? That was. I just wanted to point that out. I meant to text that to you, but he was just
the unnecessary PTSD whenever I hear that man's name.
I'm gonna learn to hate
what
Matt Dumba
name
by the end of this year.
No.
Dumba?
What name? Dumba? Sorry.
Dumba.
This is the nightmare I had. This is the nightmare right now, playing out right before my very eyes.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Check. Okay.
You ready, Trevor? I think Andrew wanted to tell you specifically about his very first beer league goal. Is that right, Andrew?
Yeah, it was a beauty. It was an absolute beauty. I hopped off the bench, hit the ice. I must have been going, felt like 90 miles per hour down the ice. I don't know, but that's what it felt like. So let's just stick with that. And I get the puck in their zone. I do a little pass to this guy in black who's skating even faster than me. He must have been going 100 because he was going into their zone. He had great awareness, and he does a little wraparound thing. He shoots right at the goalie's pad. I pick up a sweet rebound, just tap her in. And it was truly, I mean, the goalie may have been 70 years old, but it was probably the best moment.
Hey, man, beer league goals matter, okay?
That's what I
Can we get that
this is your first year playing beer league hockey?
Beer league goals matter. Yeah, it's my first year. It's a first year beer league. So I'm very excited.
There's not a better feeling than your first goal. I still have the puck from my first goal.
And I did a whole celly. I got in the goalie's face. I really made him feel bad about being
screamed at him like do you remember the Radko Gudas picture against the Leafs in the playoffs? He just got in his face and screamed at this old man.
There's nothing quite as satisfying playing beer league when you make a ridiculous play that you just are like, just throw the puck in and see what happens. Yep. And somehow miraculously it's a tape-to-tape pass to the guy who just is easily able to tap in the backdoor goal without the goalie even noticing it's there.
What about me facing the wrong direction and doing a spinning slap shot from 45 feet away from the net that went 5-hole?
I don't even.
I don't know if that's. Did that go in the right net?
Yes, it did. I was facing the wrong direction, and while spinning towards the right direction, I slapped the puck, and it went 45 feet on the ice, unblocked, completely clean through the goalie.
This sounds like one of those.
You're a 200-foot player, Trevor.
This sounds like one of those stories where every time Trevor tells a story, the distance it travels increases by 5 feet. So the next time he tells it's going to be 50, and it's going to be 55.
I used to say 50. It's come down.
So I shot this puck 70 feet down the ice.
I was in my own net, and I just Marty Brodeur style flung it as hard as I could.
Bar down, actually.
Bar down, yeah. The goalie was stunned that I would even attempt such a thing.
Yeah,
that actually happened to me in one of my games. Some kid just chucked it in from the blue line, and the goalie was so bad it hit the bar, hit the goalie's back, and then went in.
It happens a lot
if it
in
hits,
hockey.
No, if a puck from the opposite blue line hits the crossbar and then bounces off the goalie's back and in, that is an act. That's not the goalie's fault. That the goalie maybe should have caught it, but
that is totally the goalie's fault.
He earned it though. To hit the bar from that far out.
Yeah, that's not an easy thing to do.
That's not what my coach said. My coach did not say, "Hey, that was a good shot. You earned that." He said, and then expletive are you doing?
Yeah, well, that's what you should be doing as a coach. It's a really bad thing to let in a goal from beyond the half rink line. Yeah. But at some point, if a puck hits the crossbar, you should have stopped it.
Let it hit the crossbar? No. But once it was behind him, that's fair game.
Yeah, no, once it hits the crossbar, there's nothing he can do. It's over.
Bravo to the person who scored that goal. He's our shout out of the week.
I hope his
full name and address.
Did the person who was in net have to bag skate?
Probably. I'm gonna yes.
Make them. They need to bag skate.
I mean, it was just ridiculous. I
have
so many great stories of just terrible mishaps on my team. It was like the Three Stooges.
That sounds about right.
It was crazy.
Speaking of Three Stooges, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to another episode of Wrinkles in the Crease, where we take a look at the stories in hockey and iron out the details. I am your host, Zachary Morgan. I have with me, as always, my co-host, the less than real deal, Trevor Neal. Trevor, what is going on?
I'm doing great. This is completely un-hockey related, but it's a good weekend for me. University of Texas lost. That's all.
Excellent. I'm really happy for you that you can...
Horns down.
Horns down!
And that leads
Horns
me
down,
to
baby.
my next introduction. Please put your hands together for my other co-host, Andrew Tortoriello. Andrew, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing wonderful. The Jets, just since we're talking about football, I know we shouldn't, but the Jets are doing well. Anyways.
It's okay. If we're good, so long as we're on the topic of football, I have made the decision to keep DJ Moore on my bench in not one, but 2 leagues. He put up 50 points in fantasy.
That's rough. That's really rough.
The sad thing is, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm still going to win both my games.
Look at you.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Well, hey, when I have a receiving core of Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams,
I have Tyreek
DJ Moore, like, there's nothing that really matters to me.
Yeah.
In one league.
I did fantasy football for one season, and I made the championship game and only lost because of DeMar Hamlin.
That's amazing.
And I haven't done fantasy since. I did the BSP league and almost won. No idea what I was doing. I just rode Lamar's 50 points.
And it took someone dying on the field to get in the way of your winning.
Yeah, realistically, I was probably going to lose the championship game anyway, but that was like the nail that didn't give me the shot. Because I had Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs.
Trevor, since I've already got you backpedaling and get you on the subject of hockey, I want to touch base with you. So we are right at the beginning of the very end of preseason. The NHL season start is right around the corner. In 2 days. And Trevor, I just want to check in with you, get a pulse on how you're doing in regards to the team that you have elected to cheer for in your life. And tell me how you feel about the Toronto Maple Leafs, and then we'll talk about a few things that have happened over the past couple days.
So, Tyler Bertuzzi doesn't tape the handle of his stick.
Yeah, he never did that.
He like wears the tongues of his skates real weird. So we're gonna win the Stanley. I don't know how else to explain it.
Not having style, not going against the grain in this does
I
not
don't
mean
know,
you're going to win
but
the Stanley Cup. How many Stanley Cups does Tyler Bertuzzi have? How long has he been doing this?
None.
That's not important.
Has he done it for a Canadian?
Don't worry. Don't answer that, Trevor. That's not important. The vibes in Toronto are incredible right now. I mean,
like Max Domi meets Leafs fans for the first time as a Leaf, and some guy's like, "Hey, your dad gave me this stick when I was a kid." We're winning the cup that very second.
Beautiful.
Max Domi's gonna score a gritty goal off his 3 teeth to win the cup. You know what? He's going to play on a line with like William Nylander, and they're going to score some of those beautiful goals you've ever seen and be a negative 75 by the end of the year. It's going to be great.
I can't tell if that's optimism or just crippling depression.
It doesn't matter. Matthew Nyes might win a Calder. We don't know. He might.
He could.
He might.
He won't.
He could.
But he could.
He could. He could get nominated for a Calder.
He could. He won't. But he could.
No, he could be top 3.
He could be. I'm sure. Yeah, sure. He could be top 3. I mean, from what I've seen from the rookies, just in preseason, I guess preseason doesn't actually count because you're not really playing against teams. You're playing against AHL players.
You're playing against other people that are trying to get a job.
Yeah, but I mean, from what I've seen, I have not really been impressed. I don't know.
Didn't Leo Carlson get hurt? Did I see that he got hurt somewhere?
I don't know. He hasn't been. I don't think he's been playing. I haven't seen him in a game. If he has
Connor Bedard has been very good, except his little fall he had.
So okay. Leo Carlson was helped off the ice at practice after a collision where he was reportedly not able to put a pressure on his right foot. This happened on Friday, it seems.
Today's Sunday.
Today is Sunday.
You really hate to see stuff like that happen, man.
You do.
He
The
has
good
not
news is, as of yesterday, October 7th, Elliot Friedman reported that the injury is not as bad as it looked in practice yesterday. It's not, they're still not sure about the timeline, but it's not as long as they initially feared. So it does seem as though, while we will see a lot of great young rookies taking the ice to start the season, it does seem like Leo Carlson is not going to be one of them, unfortunately.
This sounds like, oh no, that's a high ankle sprain. It's just a regular ankle sprain. That's what it kind of sounds like.
I hope he doesn't try to do the thing that some players do. They're just like, oh, I'll play through it.
No, they're not letting him. There's
No,
no
they
way
can't.
they're letting him.
They can't, because if you mess up Leo Carlson with a sprained ankle and you tank his development because that does you mess up his development track because you let him play too early or anything. No, you have to handle this with extra security gloves behind a hazmat, like a quarantined area. You have to be extremely careful in this situation.
Their season
Did you say
does
that it
not
was an
matter.
on-ice collision?
It was an on-ice collision during practice, yes.
Look, I've seen players get hurt in that, even on teams I've played for. It happens.
Yeah. It's a part of the game.
My first concussion was in a practice. I broke someone's wrist in a practice. It happens. Awkward.
Always.
Yeah,
fun.
it definitely does happen to some people, and it's really
a damn shame we're not going to see one of the best prospects we've seen in a while.
It does.
Because I hope they bring him on the bench for opening night. So
I'm sure they will to some capacity.
I would think they would.
I would think so. But does that ultimately take him out of the Calder just to tie it back? We don't know, honestly. The odds-on favorite for the Calder Trophy, as much as you want to say Matthew Nyes, Trevor, he's not a finalist. He's not a finalist this year.
If he has like a 40-goal season, yeah, but he would need it. Which he could do, but it's unlikely.
Yeah, no.
Your top three is going to be Bedard, Fantilli, and
Luke Hughes.
Devin Levi? Luke Hughes.
Devin Levi, Luke Hughes. We'll see. Simone Nemec could possibly threaten for that, although I doubt it just because of the style of game that Nemec plays.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Any of these guys could really take it, but I do like Fantilli and Bedard as kind of not so much locks for those first two spots, but definitely
it's theirs to lose.
Yeah, it's theirs to lose. But
my best friend's getting into hockey this season. I told him this is probably the best season to start because you have so many young players that are starting their careers that are so fun to follow. I don't remember a rookie class being this exciting ever.
Yeah, it's
like the depth of it is insane.
So tell me right now, you have a friend just getting into hockey. I already know that you tried to do this to him, probably. Why should we be excited about the Toronto Maple Leafs going into this season?
Because the Leafs, she's going to watch this and laugh very hard at me. The Leafs, if they suck, it's entertaining. That's the thing that I love about the Leafs, is even when they lose, it's funny. Like, it's never normal. I'd never be like, that was a mediocre season with an average ending. No, it's always catastrophe. And that's fun to watch. If a train was crashing in front of you, you'd still watch. Like,
it's fun to watch, but why are you emotionally investing in that? What are you doing to yourself, my man?
That's like looking at a train that you know is going to crash and be like, man, I love this train. I hope
wish
this
I was
train
on
makes
that
it
train.
to the end of the line. Like,
I'm going to buy a ticket to be on this train that's going down the broken railroad path.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's okay because management says the railroad isn't broken and we're not going to crash this year.
Yeah, because Kyle said we can and we will.
And yeah.
And we might still will. I don't know.
Kyle's not
He's
there
not here
anymore.
anymore.
Still will.
Not here anymore.
Yeah, it's Brad now.
We got another computer boy who underperforms in the playoffs.
I don't know if he's a computer boy, but you got another one, yes.
Close to a computer boy. He's an analytics guy, apparently.
Of course.
But he does underperform in the playoffs.
Oh my god.
That's our specialty. That's what we do best. But this Leafs season, to get a little bit more track, is going to be, I think, an exciting one because we're finally getting a fresh set of eyes on the Leafs. And it's obvious that Treliving went out and made different moves that Kyle wouldn't have necessarily. I don't see Dubas going out and getting Ryan Reeves. Max Domi, Tyler Bertuzzi. It's definitely
Ryan
a
Reeves is a
difference.
really good addition.
I hated it at first, and now it's like I get it.
Yeah,
He's not going to play much. It doesn't matter.
He's a fourth line player, and he's going to make sure that no one really messes with Matthews. No one tries.
They're
to
not
mess
going to
with
get pampered.
Tavares. They're not. That's your guy. That's your designated penalty guy. Whether or not it actually works remains to be seen.
Yeah, and like, the one thing that I don't like that he's done, and I think they would have done it differently if they could go back. I do not like the Klingberg signing. I did at first, but the things they could have got Matt Dumba, who is the same style of player for the same price. Now there's probably more factors to that. Dumba probably didn't want to come to Canada. That's fair. But there's a drop off between Dumba and Klingberg. But Klingberg apparently is getting some power play time. There's a chance I think we see him on power play one this year. Above Riley, which is crazy. But
I mean, that's always been Klingberg's specialty, though. He's always been kind of a power play guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's also been Riley's thing.
Yeah, but
and like the Leafs power play has been a top power play in the league for several years, so why change it? But I'm open to trying things. I think that's going to be the story of the Leafs' first 2 months. Till Christmas, it's just going to be trying things. I think this is a year that we see the Leafs make a trade before American Thanksgiving. I listen to a lot of Canadian podcasts, so I have to feel the need to say American Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
The better Thanksgiving. And they'll even tell you that. But
amen, brother.
The Leafs team that we see on opening night will not be the one we even see by the trade. They even made a trade today. Sam Lafferty for a 5th-round pick. And I saw that and went, cool.
You were really excited to get Sam Lafferty at the deadline last season.
Oh, because Sam Lafferty's a good guy, but he just doesn't fit anymore. Look, in training camp, they had him on the second line. We knew. He was a placeholder. He's not going to be there. No. I love Sam Lafferty. He's not a second-line player, and he didn't fit on the 3rd and 4th. See, we need money.
We've been the Devils have also kind of been experiencing that. That's one of our biggest problems, actually. We don't have a lot, but we lost Miles Wood because there was
catastrophe. Canceled, sold the team.
Yeah. There was some veteran depth that was lost, but there were some pieces that were added to negate that. I mean, you lose Tomas Tatar, but you instantly fill that hole by trading for Tyler Toffoli. So
great move.
So honestly, like
the Devils, in my opinion,
it's a huge upgrade. And it's not like he has to find his spot.
I know you're watching this, and I'm sorry, but Tyler Toffoli just fits better.
He's all the best to Tatar. He was a fantastic player. I would have loved to bring him back, I would have loved it if the Devils were able to bring him back, but it's just not the way things were shaping up. It doesn't fit anymore. But
they tried. They tried with virtually a similar deal to the one he received. But
they did try, but
was because it was a 1 year, and he was like, "Oh no, I want more than that." And then he ended up signing a 1 year anyway.
You can't blame him.
He probably at the time was thinking I could get more than he ended up getting. I think a lot of free agents were in that boat this offseason. Matt Dumba, for example, was in that spot where he probably thought he could get a lot more than he did. And ended up like July 8th, and he's like, oh no, I'm on.
Yeah, the salary cap situation proved to be very strange in terms of where it put teams and players, especially players that were on the open market. It's why we saw the amount of 1 year deals that we saw. It's why Tyler Bertuzzi is on a 1 year deal. It's why Max Domi is on a 1 year deal. It's why we see Dumba on a 1 year deal. These are guys who probably should have came into the offseason, signed 3, 4, 5. For Dumba, probably a 7-year deal. But the situation where the cap did not grow enough put teams in a weird spot, put players in a weird spot. You can't lock into a number with the situation being the way it is.
Yeah, Tatar didn't sign that contract until September 12th. He found himself unemployed. That's what it's.
The bottom line is the Devils probably offered him a 1 year deal, if that, but it seemed pretty clear that he was not a priority for the Devils in the offseason, and the Devils were going to bring him back if there was no one else. We could say he forgot about media day, all we want, but the odds of that, where he is a veteran in the NHL who has dealt with the locker clean out day, all that stuff, the rhythm of that for multiple teams. I feel like there was some intent to miss media day, and even if there wasn't, his mind was obviously occupied by something. We can only speculate what it was occupied by.
It wasn't the New Jersey Devils.
It wasn't. I do wish all the best. I think he was a fantastic Devil. Again, I wish he could have stayed as Devil, but all the best in Colorado. It just makes sense. Miles Wood, there was no way they were
Dallas. He seems like a nice guy. He was giving pucks out in Dallas. He's chilling.
Yeah.
Seems like a nice guy. Look good. Yeah. A little older now, but
I mean, no, he's a
sick beard. He has a beard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a good looking dude, to say the least.
Grizzled vet. No, he's been around a while.
Which is so weird to say, because I remember when he broke in 2014, 2015? Is that right?
I have no clue. I'm basically a baby. I'm only 20.
The first time he played more than 20 games was 13-14.
Huh. Close.
Yeah.
Played 9 games in 2010, 2011. He's been around a bit.
I was 10 when he broke out, I guess. So I was
783 games played. Oh my god. That is so many more.
We got to pause for a quick second. My dog is all right, we are rolling again.
Yes.
So with preseason coming to an end, there is one team in the entire league that managed to finish the entire preseason undefeated for the first time since, I think it was, you said 2016?
I believe so.
16-17.
Yep, 16-17. The New Jersey Devils have finished the preseason undefeated. And the last team to do it was the 2016-2017 Colorado Avalanche. And they followed up their undefeated preseason with a really bad record. I believe it was a 48 total point season for the standings, which is just fantastic.
It was like 20, hovering around 25 wins.
I got the record here.
And
it was 22-56-4.
Oh my god.
It was really good. No, it's really good. And
who did
then
they get in the draft?
That was the year they got
That
Cale
was
Makar.
Oh my god, Cale Makar's been.
Yeah, because they had the favorites to get the number 1 overall pick.
Oh, and I remember I posted something on my Snapchat. Oh my god, Colorado got robbed in the draft lottery, and they ended up getting the best player of that draft. Probably
to be seen, at least as of right now. Yes.
Yeah.
But we've been over this. The 3 of the top 4 picks were the right picks for their respective teams. Yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah, no, they're fine. The Devils won that draft lottery and got Nico Hischier. Just for context as to why I'm saying we're fine. We're fine.
The 3 of 4 for those. It's Hischier, Patrick, Haskin, and McCall.
Yes, and we've talked about we've
been
talked
through
about
that draft class.
We've been through Nolan Patrick so many times. I just thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
So with the Devil.
That year, the Devils had the Dallas Stars had 34 wins that year. Times have changed.
I think what this shows is that the preseason is too damn long and it means nothing.
And the Blackhawks won the division. Wow, a lot has changed.
Yeah, that was a time. That was a time to be alive. I'm pretty sure that was the last year the Blackhawks would have made the playoffs.
That was the swept by Nashville. We need to trade our Artemi Panarin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a reaction to getting swept, by the way. Just underrated reaction.
Yeah.
But in reaction to the preseason that we're dealing with now with the Devils, a lot of people after watching these guys play, where do you think Simon Nemec starts the season? Do you think he's starting it in the NHL or in the AHL?
I did not watch the Devils.
He played well. I think if we didn't have such a good roster already, he'd be starting in the NHL, and he might still be starting in the NHL. I just haven't thought about it enough.
I think he played well enough to earn that spot. But you're right. the fact of the matter is the blue line's crowded for the Devils this year.
Yeah.
So
Very much so.
Quite frankly, we have to remember this is a kid who made the opening night roster last year. He made the opening night roster last year. It was decided by the coaching staff and himself that it would benefit him more to play in the AHL because he made the NHL roster as the 7th D-man. This kid's good enough to be in the NHL.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's
Very much
absolutely
so.
good enough to be there.
Is he
It's
on
whether
the
or not
left
they
or
can
right
fit
side?
him. He is right-handed.
So, okay, what side is he?
Right.
Right, okay. Is he taking Dougie out of the lineup?
No
Is he taking
shot.
John Marino out of the lineup?
No.
Is he taking Brendan Smith?
Maybe.
That's the only one that's possible, I'd say.
And at that point, you have to argue the fact that this is a guy who's probably going to be that 7th D-man with Brendan Smith. And just see how that kind of rides out. He has to get into NHL games at this point. He's too good to not be in the NHL.
You think he's a lock to be in the NHL?
I think he's too good to not see time at the NHL level this season. I would hope that he makes the opening roster, honestly.
He's not even 20 yet.
That's the best part.
Yeah, but if he's ready... God. Yeah, but the thing they might... their third pairing has the opportunity to be Luke Hughes and Simon Nemec. Now, I don't think that's a good pairing.
No, you need a veteran in there.
You need a veteran there. And right now, Luke Hughes has been playing a lot of his minutes with Brendan Smith. So that is something to think about.
Yeah, that's... So, daily face-off right now, which I know, Zach, you hate daily face-off. Right now, it's...
Just,
It's guessing. That's all it is. It's Siegenthaler, Hamilton, then Kevin Ball. John
That's
Marino,
right.
and
That's
then Luke
right.
Hughes,
Kevin
Brendan
Ball.
Smith.
Kevin Ball, in all of his length, he's so long. He's the longest player in the history.
He actually
of the
plays
NHL.
left and right side. John Marino actually doesn't have to get on the ice.
Kevin Ball is
It's just
so. Kevin Ball is multi-talented, and he is adding an offensive repertoire to his game. He had a goal in the preseason. He may have had 2 goals in the preseason. He's coming. Kevin Ball is coming. But seriously,
Kevin Ball is coming.
Kevin Ball is coming. Oh God. But yeah, I do think Nemec deserves it. But when we paint the blue line, where's the room? Unless the Devils are going to
for sending him back to the AHL though, because
there is.
Holtz got sent to the AHL last year, and I think he's gotten noticeably better. Since
Holtz is a guy who I think might stick around this year.
I think he's sticking around. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, they said, he was all right. He was good, but they said there's a lot of room for improvement. They sent him to the AHL, and he comes back. He has that chip on his shoulder. He works hard to get where he is, and now we have a really good offensive weapon. So I don't know.
I don't hate that. Look, ultimately, this is a very good problem for the Devils to have. The situation being, oh no, our NHL-ready teenager
who were too good. Oh my God, we have 7 NHL caliber defensemen. God, where do we put all 7?
Also, can't rule out Lindy does like to go for the 7 D-man lineups from time to time.
I was about to say, this is the time to try an 11-7.
This is a realistic possibility that the Devils are a regular 11-7 team.
Do you need Curtis Lazar? Do you need Curtis Lazar in the lineup every night?
Yes, we need him there because part of the fan base still refuses to acknowledge that he exists.
Yeah, and he does.
Do you need Nosek?
He's a real person.
Take him out.
No.
No, we don't really.
You don't really need Nosek.
11-7. Win the cup.
Let's go.
You know what?
Just gonna win the cup.
Go for it. The Leafs did it. Not a good example, but you can do it. You can do it. You can big brain it. The only problem is I think for a player like Luke Hughes, having confidence in your partner is extremely important.
Yeah,
and it's kind of hard enough to rotate.
And
if he's practicing with Brendan Smith, he's going to be good too.
And let's be real. The Devils' defense was not super kind to their goalies last year. They were not very kind to them at all. I think they owe it to Vitek and to some extent, obviously, Akira Schmid, to have some level of reliability there, and there's just a ton of risk with having the 2020 lineup, where you have a 20-year-old and a 19-year-old playing on the third line.
It's because guess what? Luke Hughes is going to make some boneheaded decisions this year.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the fine line that you play when you are an offensively gifted defenseman, though. You're going to have bad mess ups,
and he's not going to do it again. I trust Luke Hughes is going to make some bad mistakes, and he's going to get a little slap in the back of the head from the coach, and he's going to throw him back out there.
Although,
it's learning.
Yeah,
have we seen Have we seen any bad highlights where Quinn Hughes is hung out to dry or makes a boneheaded decision that results in? I can't think of one specific flagship play where Quinn Hughes has directly turned the puck over and it's led to a 4-on-1.
The only thing I think of when,
but I also don't watch Vancouver Canucks hockey,
is how sad he looks all of the time.
He's the captain now.
He is.
Yeah, I can think of one. I can only think of one, and I think it might have been against the Devils. He turned the puck over with an empty net, and Hughes raced down the ice and scored. Jack Hughes.
Oh, well, yeah, that
was a bummer.
Exactly. I know that play.
Yeah, I remember that. That was fun.
It was fun. Oh my God, he was trying so hard to chase Jack down. It was
that wasn't a I messed up. That is a I cannot let my little brother get this goal on me here right now.
Yeah.
But Jack is so much faster, I'm gonna guess. Side by side, Jack is got to be so much faster.
They're both very gifted skaters.
What a beaut.
But Jack
imagine raising 3 incredible NHL players. That's insane. I mean, that family is the most talented family I've ever seen.
The pedigree is there.
Who are the brothers that were incredible? Sedins?
Yeah, the Sedins.
Oh yeah, Henrik and Daniel Sedin, the twins.
The twins, number 2 and 3 overall pick, 99.
Oh, that's rough.
99.
Why are you guys not rattling this off so quickly? What is wrong with you people?
I'm sorry that I'm not 35.
I'm not 35 either. I'm not 35 either.
30.
Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
Go away.
But
I was there. They came up. They came up in the navy and maroon Canucks jerseys. Whatever they weren't maroon, but the navy ones.
Yes. The the one with the gradient.
Yeah.
Those Canucks jerseys. Zach, I have a story from the game I went to that I think would be fun.
Okay.
So we're sitting. Me and my best friend Kenzie were sitting there, 4th, 5th row, and we're watching the scoreboard before the game. And the NHL is one of those promo clips they do at media day that are always really cringy, and you can tell that someone's holding a gun behind the camera. But then Jack Hughes came, and my friend looks up and starts giggling for the next 10 minutes, and then I see her scrolling his and Luke Hughes' Instagrams very quickly, and the New Jersey Devils made a fan that day. And then we got to a long discussion of why does Quinn look so sad compared to the other two. In every picture, Jack and Luke look all put together. They're chilling. They look like frat guys. And then Quinn looks like their dad, who's disappointed in his kids in every picture.
And I'm going to take this opportunity to speak directly to any NHL free agents. Whenever you may be seeing this, take note. If you stay near Newark, we're just close enough to Manhattan to be able to stay young looking and fashionable. And apparently they don't do that in Vancouver.
So true.
If you want to look like a tired lumberjack, Vancouver's your spot.
He probably doesn't.
That's where most tired lumberjacks live.
It looks like he doesn't sleep.
For every intent and purpose, that was a joke. I do not mean that. Please don't come after me. Continue.
We don't want to piss off Vancouver.
No.
Bro, Quinn is going to whoop your ass. Wait till he hears this.
Oh, man.
You're done.
Oh, man.
Totally.
Yeah, he totally has enough personality.
I was saying that because of Quinn, 100% yes. Future Devils legend, Quinn Hughes.
Yeah. Oh, my God. The chills I'm going to get.
No, absolutely not.
Seeing a Quinn, Luke Hughes deep pairing.
That dream would be... That dream would, as fantastic as it would be, it's not
Team
feasible.
USA thing. It'll be Team USA.
Yeah,
and it's gonna happen at some point. You know that, right? That's going to be a deep pairing.
Honestly, that makes I don't want Quinn Hughes on the Devils anymore. I want Quinn Hughes paired with Luke Hughes and Jack Hughes as the number 1 center for Team USA in the Olympics.
Who are the wingers?
Doesn't matter. Brady Tkachuk.
Oh my God! Get me the most likable lineup in the history of Team
Brady
USA.
Tkachuk and Matthew Tkachuk. Let's go. The Tkachuk brothers and the Hugheses.
Look,
that is the dream Team USA starting 5. It has to be.
Simply don't get on the ice. How do they not score? There's like so much chemistry in that lineup. Oh my God! Everyone's related. It's weird. Somehow, like, you're watching this game and going, oh my God, Matthews is on the second line. And no one's mad about it.
No
one's mad about it.
Matthews has to, like, cede to the greatness that I just
He has to look at the lineup and go, I get it.
Yeah.
If I had a brother, I would be on that line.
You would be, but you don't. I think you have a sister, unfortunately.
Austin.
Not unfortunately, but, you know, for this case.
Austin Matthews, we're sorry you only have a sister. From Wrinkles in the Crease.
Nice. We should tweet that.
I don't even know if that's correct. I genuinely don't even know if that's correct.
I'm pretty sure he does. I'm pretty sure. Because I think I saw a picture.
Yeah, I created work for myself. But as we go back to the Devils, and we talked a little bit about how it makes sense for them to keep Brendan Smith with Luke Hughes, and more importantly, I touched on the fact that they owe it to their goalies to have a competent defense in front of them this coming season, because we saw the wear and tear that Vitek Vanacek went through. By the end of the season, forget the playoffs. By the end of the regular season, his movement was clearly affected. He was a step behind.
There was a lot of question marks around Vanacek.
Yeah.
So the Devils need to do whatever is possible to lighten the load around him, and that's my opinion there. If they can do that, I'm confident that this tandem can achieve the same level of success, if not surpass it. But the one thing that makes me nervous more than anything is I think Schmid needs a little more time to bake. Just a little more time.
I think he can do it as a 1B. I think
that's interesting. I think
you can go.
That's interesting that you say that, Zach. I disagree wholeheartedly.
He also beat the New York
want him in the NHL.
He did beat the New York Rangers in the
and
playoffs.
I think he's going to have to record 60 wins next year. I'm just going to say it now.
You have to remember, I'm scarred by what happened with Mackenzie Blackwood. Because Mackenzie Blackwood, at one point in time, was a fantastic goalie prospect and the Devils goalie for the next 15 years. And then he got hurt. And he could never stay healthy again.
Oh, it's such a bummer.
Yeah.
There's been, goalies are so weird, and that their development is going perfectly fine, and like a Thursday afternoon happens, and all of a sudden you've wasted 4 years of development. Like that. Look, Carter Hart is a questionable NHL goalie. And he was so exciting for so long. And he was, when he came up, he was the better version of Matt Murray, who also had the random day screwed up.
Carter Hart is in that same ilk as Mackenzie Blackwood. They came up at the same time, around the same time. Carter Hart came up, I think, a year before maybe, but they were the same age. It was Devils got their goalie of the future. The Flyers have their goalie of the future. And both teams relied on both goalies so heavily, so early in their careers, and now it's almost as if they're broken down commodities.
Yeah.
Carter Hart is not the same level of goalie we thought he was going to be.
But that's not going to be the case for Vanacek. I don't think. I think it makes sense to lighten his load, but I don't necessarily.
It's not more. This is more in regards to the development of Akira Schmid more than Vitek Vanacek.
I know, but I don't think they're going to rely on him that much. I think it's okay for him to be a backup in the NHL and just play.
Do you think he needs to be more than a backup? Do you think he needs more reps than that? Goalies are so freaking hard to develop. Like, how often do you honestly get a goalie that is drafted, developed, and becomes a starter with their own team? I feel like it doesn't.
Look at Aiden Hill. I mean, look at Aiden Hill. It's very rare where that happens. Like, or it's not rare, but it's not uncommon for a goalie to burn out somewhere else and then catch on with a second team, third team.
And when they do, it's always, we never hear of this guy, never hear of this guy. Oh my God, Jake Ottinger has a 960 in a playoff series.
Yeah.
It happens overnight. Like, that's kind of what I think you need with a young goalie, is they then ride that. Because I think that's how it's kind of worked. Like, it's worked really well for Ottinger in Dallas. He kind of gets thrust into that role. He performs really well. Like, there's a chance we're seeing that with Schmid. Now, to a lesser extent, Schmid did not post a 9 ungodly number over 7 games and almost single-handedly win playoff series. But he can really ride that confidence.
He can ride that confidence. I don't disagree with that. And I have to take into account the fact that he did outplay Igor Shesterkin in a playoff series, and that's nothing that can be. You can't just overlook that. You can't overlook that.
It's hard to understate just how much of a confidence booster that is in a position in sports that is completely mental.
Yeah.
How absolutely. He does, like, physically, like, he doesn't need to develop physically. He doesn't need to get better at his craft. It's probably just mentally maturing into that role. Probably, and that takes a while. It's hard to get really good at it.
But he kept his cool in so many incredibly stressful situations. I mean, I was so sure that so many was going to go in. So many were going to go in that just brick wall. Absolute brick wall.
They don't get rattled. That's the best thing I want to say in a young goalie, is that they just completely calm. And they can be getting shelled and they're calm.
And that was the thing that everyone kept saying about Schmid last year about his play. This guy is just he's unfazed, he's calm, like nothing breaks his pace in how he looks at the game. And it helped the Devils when they were down 2-0 against the Rangers very clearly.
Absolutely.
There are a number of great young goalies in the Devils system. Akira Schmid is far and away the most deserving to have that crack at proving to be the goalie of the future.
Yeah.
I am very nervous and I am extremely protective because I watched as the Devils were forced to overwork Mackenzie Blackwood. And that is what has me nervous about keeping him as a 1B. But he absolutely can fit that 1B role. Forget a backup. He's a 1B. I think that's what
you have to do. Yeah.
I
think he gets 25, 30 games.
I trust management. I think they've made every single right decision. I think whatever they do, it's for the best. So
if they started him in a playoff series, the NHL, prove Zach wrong, because Zach was very against the Schmid trade, putting him into that series.
I put out an Instagram note early in the early last season that was like fire Schmid. that was something I actually said. So I mean, yeah, like, you know.
The management's done a good job with them so far. They really have to kind of change their mentality to screw it up. And I don't see it doing. They're on the right course. Goalies are freaking weird, aren't they?
Also, on the flip side, we do have a lot of great goalie prospects. We probably need to put some of them in the AHL.
Yeah.
I don't even know. We have like 4 different people I could think of off the top of my head that need to be playing.
Brady and Brennan easily deserve a shot at the AHL, and that's not even talking about the guys that aren't under contract yet for the Devils.
Yep.
We've talked about this. Jacob Malik is coming.
Keith Kincaid's with the Devils right now?
Oh, yeah. Keith Kincaid is a training camp body with the New Jersey Devils right now, but it's a weird contract situation. He signed like 3 weeks ago or so, something like that. So he signed an NHL deal with the Devils, but he's under contract with the Chicago Wolves, and the Chicago Wolves are the only independent AHL team right now.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't make the Devils roster, he's not going to play in Utica. He's going to go play in Chicago.
Yep.
So it's a very weird situation. Strange. But more or less, if Keith Kincaid is playing a game in an actual game for the New Jersey Devils, there are a lot of things that have gone wrong this year. Like, there's no way around it. If Keith Kincaid enters the net for the New Jersey Devils this season, terrible things have happened.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason he should be.
Yes.
he should be playing in the NHL for the Devils.
I'm gonna riot.
Okay.
When the hell did they get Eric Shalgren? Eric Brick Shalgren. I'm angry about this. You took him from me.
Context?
Eric Shalgren was the guy who, when Jack Campbell and Frederick Anderson were like fighting over who wants to get hurt more, Shalgren stepped into the games and got like 2 shutouts in like a week. And it was like, oh my god, this guy might take Jack Campbell's job, and now he's gonna play for the Utica. I loved Eric Shalgren.
Based.
You took one more thing from you. Took my happiness.
Okay, well, you can't have him.
You took Eric Shalgren.
You can't have him. He's ours.
Yeah.
You also got Andreas Janssen, so deal with it.
He helped. Hey, Andreas Janssen was a key piece that helped the Devils get back Timo Meier. We thank you for giving us. We thank Joey Anderson. Anyway, that was the trade, right? It was Joey Anderson for Andreas Janssen.
Maybe. I mean, if you fact check,
Andreas Janssen isn't an NHL.
Did the Sharks not retain him?
No, he went to Pittsburgh with Kyle Dubas. Couldn't have wrote that one better. And then he got sent down.
Oh. All the best to Andreas Janssen. That was a situation where he wasn't bad for the last year he actually played up at the NHL level with the Devils. It's just when it came down to it, the role that he could fill, it was going to be him or Tomas Tatar, and Tomas Tatar was better at that role. So Janssen I think he played a game because of an injury and then was immediately sent back down to Utica, but it just didn't work out.
He had a weird little career.
Yeah.
I mean, it's over probably, but
I mean, not necessarily, but it's not looking good, to say the least. Speaking of things that have absolutely looked better, though, Andrei Vasilevsky. So I had you read to me what he had wrong. Andrei Vasilevsky underwent back surgery to fix, and I'm reading this right off the paper here, a lumbar disc herniation, which means back hurty a lot. Yeah. Back hurty very bad.
Well, and I don't know, I don't want to get too deep into the medical science of it, but when your back hurts, it makes it hard to move. Yes. And one thing about goalies is they have to move.
Yes. I don't know if you remember this, but about a month ago, someone, me, herniated a disc in the lumbar part of their back. And guess what I couldn't do for several days? I had a very minor one. I could not walk. I could not move. And I was on so many painkillers, I did not trust myself in a BSP meeting and had to have Zach talk for me.
That was a fun phone call. That was a really fun phone call.
You're depriving the people of on substances.
We don't need
We need painkiller Trevor. We need hydrocodone Trevor, oxycodone Trevor. We need them all.
We do not need any of this. We do not need
as the filter. No.
Can I plug the other episode, please?
What? Just do it.
The funniest episode of the podcast is by far the drunk text from Trevor episode of this podcast. It is easily one of my favorites. I love it. So if you haven't heard that, go listen to it. But it's
100%. 100%. We will upload that clip actually within the next week or so.
But what I learned in that experience is that if you herniate a disc anywhere, minor, seems like he herniated a disc pretty badly. It requires surgery. So he was in more pain than I was.
Yep.
Probably.
What exactly does that mean? What is a herniated? It's not where it should be. Like a herniated disc is
kind of. It's hard to.
It's like is that
So the discs are the little things between
the pillows.
They're the pillows.
No,
between your vertebrae.
There's the bone, and then the bone is like stacked between like fluid sacs, which I'm referring to as pillows because I went to medical school clearly. And when the bone slips out, or is it when the sac slips out? That's a herniation.
Find an exact
Because one, I know there's also like, oh, I slipped a disc. So
yeah. But that's not as bad, right? Slip a disc.
They're all bad. Everything I've just said is very bad. It all means pain.
This condition occurs when the soft center of a spinal disc pushes through a crack in the tougher exterior casing.
Oh,
so essentially it moves, and it's extremely painful.
Yeah,
I mean,
so he's got some bone on. So he had some bone-on-bone collision in his back.
Not necessarily.
There's
probably still a gap, but his spine is not put together right now the way it should be.
Well, it wasn't.
Your spine's really important.
He had back
surgery.
surgery.
Know that, but
yeah,
he had the surgery.
But my dad's had a very similar surgery, and it's not necessary.
So ideally,
well, they say he's recovering. They say that he should be in this season.
Yeah,
within
he had the surgery. His back should be back together.
Hey, but here's the thing about back injuries. Okay, there is absolutely no guarantee that he's going to fully recover.
Nope.
Guess what? You screwed up your back. It's forever. You got a bad back now. Congratulations.
Yep, that's just your life now. 100%.
It's back, head, and hip. You don't want to screw up any of those three.
Yeah.
Because it's forever problems.
Yeah, but it does seem like Vasilevsky is only supposed to miss the first 2 months of the season. Remains to be seen. We'll see what happens.
Someone penciled in, guesstimating in early December, they play a home and home against the Dallas Stars for some reason. People are expecting him to get one of those two.
The number of games that they've put down is like 25. So, yeah, 25-ish. So,
but if it's like 25 games and Andre's like, still a little sore, you give him another week. It's Tampa Bay. He's good enough.
If I herniate a disc, I don't want to play my first game back against the Dallas Stars. I will say that right now. Robo will single-handedly break your spine.
He will herniate another disc.
He'll herniate all of them. He won't stop at one.
If that's my life, I'm nervous to put skates on again. I'm taking the most gingerly like strides in practice. It is.
You don't have that Chris Letang dog in you.
No, when it comes to my back, I guess I don't. I guess I don't have that Chris Letang dog in me, and I don't think there's any shame in that. If I have a stroke, it might take me longer than 2 weeks to come back and play hockey. I'm sorry.
You don't want it enough.
Twice.
You don't want it hard enough.
I'm gonna seriously reevaluate the decisions that have led me to this point in my life and see if I can want it harder. If I can want it Chris Letang hard.
Yes,
if
exactly.
Vasilevsky isn't in the lineup opening night, he should simply give his Conn Smythe trophy to Chris Letang because he deserves it more.
I agree.
Obviously.
That is so sensible. That's so sensible, especially since
who cares?
He still is in possession of the Conn Smythe trophy, too. So like that makes so much sense.
Let me ask you guys a question pertaining to this situation. With Vasi out for the better part of the first half of the season, do you think that the Lightning still make the playoffs?
Yes.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
Here's the thing. They need.
I'm not saying it's entirely possible. I'm saying, do you think they will?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Zach,
keep in mind they did not make it by much last time.
And you have to remember, in this case, like the Atlantic Division has a ton of teams that are coming, so to speak.
You're also seeing a well-rested Lightning for the first time. That makes a difference.
A well-rested Lightning, but we have to. Trevor, what can you tell me about? Let me get these names right. Matt Tompkins and Jonas Johansson.
What I can tell you is that Martin Jones has put on waivers this afternoon.
Right. Okay. So that is a thing that can happen, of course.
But the Steve Dangle podcast brought it up. If I'm the Leafs, I would have been like, "Yo, have Martin Jones like a conditional 7th. Give us a case of beer."
Yeah. I mean,
evidently they didn't want to give up a case of beer.
No, because look, Martin Jones is going to give you like 880 goaltending, but it's also the Tampa Bay Lightning. And if Martin Jones can give you 880 goaltending for 2 months, you're fine. You're fine. But I don't know if Matt Tompkins is his name Matt Tompkins?
Matt Tompkins.
Did I get that? Yeah, Matt Tompkins. If he is a real player.
Do you think they call up Peter Budaj and see what he's doing? what he's up to? He's got to be like 50 now.
God, like, what other goal? Like, this is going to be a really good season if you're like a third goalie. Because guess what? There's like 6 teams who really need you right now. 2 teams that really need a goaltender, like right now, Colorado and Tampa. I'm signing up for both of those teams.
I just had an epiphany. I just had a beautiful epiphany.
Oh, no.
I have the perfect goalie for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Can we say it on 3? Can we say it on 3?
Guy who has proven that he can lead a team to a playoff berth if there's an MVP talent on the team that can also like carry the entire team and win games.
Oh, interesting.
That's a big asterisk there.
I'm scared. Just say
you could have him for free. You can just take Keith Kincaid. He's yours. He's yours now.
We were not thinking the same thing at all. Never mind.
Who were you thinking?
I was thinking you call him Marty. Get him back on the ice.
Dear God, no, absolutely
no,
not.
Marty's broken.
No,
broken.
no. Stop this. That's disgraceful. That's disgraceful. No.
I just want to see him play. I just want to see that sweet face.
Not like that. How old were you when he played for the Blues?
I must have been like, he played for the Blues in what, 13?
No, that would have been
like 16.
14, 15. 14, 15.
I was 11. 11, 12.
Do you not view that as a crime against humanity?
Wasn't it one game?
Wasn't
it
7.
one 7?
Start?
I mean, keep in mind,
even. It may have
won
been
the
4.
cup, I was 3 months old. So, like, it's not like, I wasn't like...
He's not attached to Marty the way you are.
Is my dog older than you?
Probably. I mean...
November 2002. Yeah.
Oh my God, your dog's older?
He's going to be 21 in 6 weeks.
That's insane.
Yeah, Max update. He's doing great.
He's still alive.
He's doing great.
Let's go.
Zach's dog is the Yermary Yager of dogs, where every once in a while Zach brings to the show how his dog is doing, and I'm like, he's still around.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, if he wasn't around, do you understand how broken I would be? Do you that is my dog since I was 9 years old. I will be a destroyed man when that dog inevitably, knock on wood, just knock on all the fucking wood.
Well, we don't know. I'm just saying it's not inevitable. We don't know. He could just be.
We don't know. You're right. We don't know. We don't know. Knock on wood. We don't know. You who sleeps on my bed right now, I look under my monitor. That's what I'm doing. I'm checking on him to make sure he's okay.
Make sure he's still breathing.
Make sure he's not trying to get off the bed or trying to do whatever. But yeah, he's doing well right now. He sleeps on my bed just fine.
I know there's going to be someone who eventually listens to the show purely for Zach dog updates.
I can't wait for that. I'm so excited.
Just they start commenting. Is he okay? He didn't bring it up this episode. Is he doing okay?
Yeah.
Max update, please. Max update, please. I'm getting worried.
Max update. Why is there barking in the background? He's hungry. He's always
we start
hungry.
Leaving it in just so people like.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if we ever need a mascot,
100%. That's our
dress him up. Dress him up like a little hockey puck.
That's our guy right there. You know what? I will send in a picture and see if we can actually turn him into something of a logo, something of our mascot,
like our alternate logo. We put him on the third jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
Special nights, you know.
Yeah.
It's Halloween. We're wearing the Max jersey tonight.
Hell yeah!
Great.
And then he comes out to watch you guys, which is even more hilarious because he's blind.
Is he really blind?
Yes, he's really blind.
That's crazy.
I love this dog more than I'm capable of loving myself.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Speaking of things that are seemingly not the best, we talked about Vasilevsky missing likely the first 25-ish games of the year. We've got to talk about the Ottawa Senators as a team that, and to answer your question, Andrew, do I think the Lightning will make the playoffs this year? Ultimately, I think the experience will play out. I think they make the playoffs this year, but I don't think they win. I don't think it's an Atlantic spot. I think they get a wild card spot.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons I think they get a wild card spot is because in the Atlantic Division, you have teams like the Ottawa Senators who, despite the fact that they're going to be missing Josh Norris, likely for the season opener, which probably not the most surprising news in the world. He was limited by a shoulder injury that kept him to about 8 games last season. So not shocking, but even with him missing the opening of that season, the Ottawa Senators are still a very, very scary team on paper to worry about.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The Ottawa Senators manage their roster like there's 2 GMs that don't speak to each other. And they both make moves in each other. Are we going to make fun of the fact they forgot to give someone a contract?
We have to. That's the most...
Shane Pinto.
That's the most...
forgot about.
That's just the most Pierre Dorian thing I think I've heard in my entire life. We forgot to give...
Why did they give Tarasenko money?
What do you mean, why?
Was replacing DeBrincat that important? I don't get that move.
You had... Yeah. Because, look...
You know what's better? Shane Pinto. And making sure he's playing hockey is a pretty high priority.
I don't disagree with that, but maybe I'm wrong. I just don't think Shane Pinto is near that level.
He's not, but the thing is having Vladimir Tarasenko, who cannot be like that. He's not good. Gonna like change. He's
good enough. He's good enough to contribute. You don't need him to change your team. You need him to play middle 6 winger and put up 30 or so goals. Vladimir Tarasenko can put up 30 goals in a season. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
Also, I want to talk about, and I'm taking this from Steve, so I want to talk about this with you guys as well. Quite possibly one of the worst contracts I've ever seen is on Ottawa Senators right now. Travis Hamonic signed a contract on July 4th this year. Is Travis Hamonic a good NHL defenseman?
I have no clue. I really don't.
Travis Hamonic previously played with the New York Islanders. Am I correct on that?
Yep. Correct.
Okay, then he's definitely not.
Because he played for the Islanders in like 2016.
Wait.
Okay.
He was with the Canucks.
Oh. Great.
Yeah, he was with the Canucks and then got traded to the Senators. For example, okay, so his last full season, he split time with the Canucks. Or no, he played last season with the Senators. I apologize. 75 games, 21 points, and a -5. He's not great. The Senators,
I need to see the advanced stats for that, unfortunately.
Just gave him a 2-year deal at $1.1 million for a guy who's apparently going to struggle to get off the third pair. Not that awful. They gave him a full no move. They can't send him down. He's stuck.
I mean, fine. I don't.
You can't sign Shane Pinto because you don't have the cap space. But Travis Hamonic fucking limping into the locker room with his full no move.
Again,
he can shoot the puck into his own net.
I don't mean to be disrespectful in this line of thinking. Who the hell is Shane Pinto?
Shane Pinto's a very good NHL prospect. Who's projected to be like a top 6 player, like out of the gate, and cannot play. Has missed training camp.
You know what else was projected
when was he drafted?
Let me pull up his stats.
When was he drafted?
He's 22 right now. He was
drafted.
So that explains that. 32nd overall in 2019. But apparently Senators fans are pretty excited about him. 20 goals last year as a 21-year-old.
In Ottawa?
Yes, with Ottawa.
Oh, yeah. He should have had a contract.
That's nothing.
I'm sorry. I should have started with he scored 20 goals. That's how big.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, a little bit of context. Unfortunately, I understand that you, a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, I understand why you might have intrinsic knowledge
on Shane Pinto.
A good handle on the Ottawa Senators roster, and that is just such a deep cut where Andrew and I are just like kind of looking at you, batting our eyes, like, okay, what does this mean? What does this mean? We want to understand, Trevor. Just help us. Tell me what it means.
But imagine you get you need to submit your opening night rosters, and you forgot you need to give a 20-goal scorer a contract.
Yeah, that's bad. That's not good. I mean,
Yes.
but I'm not.
Quote, they are in crunch time right now. This is hilarious.
Yes, they're due like tomorrow, aren't they?
Yes.
Yep. What
October
time
9th.
tomorrow? What
I think it's
time?
5.
5 p.m.?
I think so.
Oh, there's a hope then. They have a shot.
Is it? Okay, but the thing is,
they got a shot. That is
okay.
genuinely the most Ottawa
Should the
Senators
Devils sign Shane Pinto?
Zach, they have $62,000 in cap space.
Oh hell yeah, they'll.
I'm sure. Don't we have more than that, right?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Okay,
yes,
then
the
Shane,
they
come
didn't
on.
trade for Connor Hellebuck.
63,000, Shane. If you want it, we got it.
No. You know what? Let me, Shane. I think we could even probably bump that up to like league minimum. Make this whole thing.
Really?
Bring this whole thing above board. You know.
You know what would probably get the Shane Pinto deal done is the $1.5 million of the Ottawa Senators salary cap devoted to the one, the only Matt Murray.
Let's go.
Or what are they going to do when Josh Norris comes back with his $7.9 million? Are you now seeing why I don't like the Tarasenko deal now?
Because
now they're cap strapped and not good enough to be cap strapped.
Trevor, you're applying logic and reason to the Ottawa Senators, and if anything has told me anything about the Ottawa Senators, they don't do that. And Ryan Reynolds is still going to buy the team probably, so who cares?
No, they got bought.
Oh, by not Ryan Reynolds?
Right, no.
All right, cool.
Some dude had to sell his share in the Canadians to the
Oh, that doesn't that happens.
Thank God he bought a good team like the Senators.
Yeah, apparently he got a real franchise.
You wouldn't want another bad Canadian
franchise. He wanted a team.
Isn't there an arena named after? Don't they play at the Canadian Tire Center?
Yes, they do.
That's amazing.
The CTC.
CTC.
But you have to understand where I'm coming from with it. Feels like that there's two people in charge of the Senators, and one of them's like, we're gonna win a cup right now, and the other one's like, yo, people aren't allowed to play, and they need to play. And they don't speak to each other. If someone's making Dorian's out there just giving players money.
It seems completely disorganized.
I want a film crew to follow Pierre Dorian for 180 days consecutively in the year.
What is
and I need to know like the inner workings of this man and how his mind ticks. I don't want to know about Peter Chiarelli. That's too dark for me. But I need to understand that what the logic and thought process of Pierre Dorian, because I assume it's like a beautiful mind. And I assume there's something really great, and he must have everything figured out if this is how he's operating.
He's not doing bad things. He's just doing things.
Trevor.
He's doing moves.
Trevor.
He's doing moves isolated.
Trevor, you can't sign a player in the NHL for $62,000.
Apparently, there's a player that they need to put on IR that kind of frees up a little bit of space, but that doesn't make it any better. They forgot. They forgot.
It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not
great. I'm so glad you all found this as crazy as I did. It also no movement clause for Travis Hamonic.
Really that's whatever. I don't care about that.
Why are we giving no movement clauses to anybody who goes, I don't want to be traded? And you're like, I guess we can't.
Because it's cool and it's fun.
Yeah, it's the nice thing to do,
That's
Trevor.
What the cool kids are doing.
Yeah,
Trevor. It's a kind move. And now Travis Hamonic could start his family in Ottawa.
Bingo.
Without the worry of being moved. Without his consent.
Retire, buddy. You're allergic to your hockey equipment, bud.
Wow. I don't think he is. You can't just assume that. You can't just tell people they're allergic to their hockey pads and force them into retirement because their contract doesn't fit on the books. You can't
then trade them to a team in the Southwest.
It's ridiculous. That doesn't absolutely ridiculous.
That's never
so that they can reach the salary cap floor.
No, nothing that convenient would happen. Actually,
No, we're starting to talk a little bit too crazy, and I think that's about where we need to cut the episode at this point.
Yeah, that is.
Yes.
We're just making fun of the Coyotes now.
Of course,
no reason.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Wrinkles in the Crease. Tune in next time, and by next time, the NHL season will have started. Enjoy opening night. We will absolutely be talking about some of the crazy things that happen when the season opens next week. Until then, take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your week.